Welcome to WinSouls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas. And I have a great message today that the Lord wants out there, and we are talking about walking alongside your brothers and sisters. So today we'll be coming out of Romans 15, 1 through 3. Let me read that for you guys. We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak and not to please ourselves. Each of us should please his neighbor for his good. For even Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. So what is he talking about here? So in the very first verse, he is talking about how the strong should walk alongside and bear the burdens and the things that the weak are carrying. Now, that can be taken in a few different contexts. And so walking alongside the strong, those are individuals that have been walking alongside Christ for a very long time, and they are eating milk. They are eating milk. They are eating meat. They are eating meat. They're very mature in the word. Those are individuals that are strong in the word, have experienced God's power, have been walking alongside God for a very long time. And they are very good examples of what a Christian walk should look like. Now, the weaker individuals are Christians that are, they're just now coming into the word, or they've just now gotten saved, or they've been saved for a while, but they've just not really developed that relationship through reading the word or through prayer, or they just become very casual in their relationship with Christ, so they remained a babe their entire life. They've been drinking milk their entire life. They've just gone to church out of specific routine. When specific things happen in that individual's life, the strong are supposed to come in, build up, and edify that specific person. Now, I've been on both sides of that spectrum, and I've been an individual that has not necessarily been a great example of a person that has done a very good job walking alongside someone. Now, I'm very understanding when it comes to the person that is going through something. I get it, but I don't do a very good job at listening to complaining or whining or making excuses for specific things that person has done. Like if you've done something, take responsibility for it, for yourself. So when I would hear those specific things, I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want anything to do with it because it was just, and this is very narcissistic, but I'm talking about a specific time period in my life where it was just like, look, I got my own plans. I don't want anything to do with all of that baggage and trash that you were trying to bring into my life. I don't want anything to do with it. And there are specific times where you should let specific people go. But there are also other times where you need to walk alongside. You need to walk alongside those times. And for me, those types of people. And for me, how I specifically characterize those specific time periods are people that are genuinely wanting to get to know Christ. And then, just life happens, and they're genuinely growing in him. They want to get to know him. They're taking those steps to get there. They're just a babe, and so because of that, they're going through something. And so we're there to build them up. We're there to build them up and to walk alongside them. Now, when the word talks about how the strong are not there to please ourselves or themselves, what it is saying is exactly what I just described in a narcissistic person. It's just like, look, I don't want your baggage. I don't want it around me. So if you're not willing to move at this specific pace, if you're not willing to move at a pace that I'm used to in terms of your growth, or in terms of not whining and getting out of this situation, or however long, if this takes too long, then I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want anything to do with it. Or it can also be a specific time period where you are using your authority and your I would say your advancement in the kingdom to please yourself. And what do I mean? There are perfect examples of this around the world, with pastors that are literally using that anointing that they have on them, and the gifting that they have on them, and their stature and their status to sleep with women in the congregation, or little boys in the congregation, or, homosexual lifestyles, all of these hidden sins. But they are using that simply so that they can have what they want in their carnal nature. And that is not what this is about. This is about edifying the other person and building them up at their own pace. And this is one of the hardest lessons I literally had to learn, because I am a ferocious person when it comes to life. I don't let life get after me. I get after life. And so because of that, it's just kind of like I move very fast. If I want something, majority of the time, I work hard and I go get it. Well, a lot of people aren't like that. And I'm not saying that I'm superior to anybody, but I'm just saying that a lot of people process things completely different, and that's okay. And that's okay. What it means to walk alongside somebody, it means that when they're ready to take a step, you're there. And when they're not ready to take a step, you're still there. You're not pushing them in a specific direction at all. You move at their pace and you encourage them along the way. You encourage them along the way. If they stop, you stop. When they take a step, well, then you take a step right alongside them. You move at their pace and you be okay with it. And that's what that design is. That's what that is. And that is literally walking out of love. Literally walking out of love. And when the word in verse 3, when it talks about, for even Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. So now the specific things that person is going through, you receive them on yourself, but yet and still you are there to comfort them and walk alongside them to edify that person. So whatever that person is going through, you allow yourself to feel that same thing too. And that was the part that I didn't want. I didn't want to have to embrace all of those specific feelings. I didn't want to have to embrace all of that pain. I didn't want to have to embrace that baggage that I thought it was. But that's a part of the Christian life. If the Lord leads you to walk alongside that person in brotherly love. Now, some people, the Lord will have to literally close, the Lord will close doors to you and other people. But others, he wants you to walk alongside. So also in all of this, allow the Lord to discern these things through you, and also be led of the Lord in terms of who you should walk alongside and who could actually be a tool used by Satan to debilitate you in your walk and to bring you down. You guys be blessed, and I hope this was a blessing to you. Have a good one.